Nine of Hearts week. I know I'm a bit late with this, but the Nine of Hearts is coined the card of universal love, devotion. Nines are all encompassing, so this is inclusive, right? The Nine of Hearts is the wish card, so this is a week of having a wish fulfilled. But nines do deal with releasing and letting go. Now, the heart suit, it gives water energy, the water element, emotions, right? So this kind of goes in tandem with having boundaries, either setting boundaries or having no boundaries, right? And wearing your heart on your sleeve, putting yourself out there to be disappointed in love or to be hurt within relationships, okay? But what the nine requires us to do is to release and to let go. Accept people for who they are. Accept people for who they are. And just allow them to be who they want to be without it having to affect you and your emotional responses, okay? So, emotional fulfillment this week can show up. Wishes coming true. This can be a week of emotional contentment. Again, if you have established boundaries, no one's emotional residue can affect you. But if you have not established boundaries, you can expect to be hurt. But you have to remember, this hurt is not necessarily yours to carry, okay? You're allowing someone else's emotional disruptions to cause you to be emotionally disruptive, okay? This card brings messages of joy and emotional satisfaction as well. The Nine of Hearts is one of the semi-fixed cards, so it only switches places with the Seven of Diamonds. So I say that to say that this week is not only about releasing and letting go, but when it comes to that Seven of Diamonds sister card or twin card, it's about knowing your value, knowing your worth, knowing when to let go. Okay? Not being disillusioned around emotions or attachments. Okay? Knowing your worth and knowing when to let go. I can't stress that enough. The Nine of Hearts can show up as a therapist, either seeing therapy, going to a therapist, going to a counselor, okay? Apologies. So either receiving apology or being the one to give an apology. It represents heartbreak, divorce, separation, because again, when we're letting go of things, we're separating ourselves from another, okay? The Nine of Hearts has a Seven of Clubs as its Mercury card. So this week, there can be a lot of doubt. There can be a lot of fear when we're talking about the non-integrated Seven of Clubs. Gossip, slander. You know, your thoughts can literally be hexing your reality. You can literally curse yourself when you're thinking negatively. So the Seven of Clubs requires us to be positive, to have an inner knowing that things are going to work out, right? So we have to affirm certain things into our lives. We can't allow either people or situations to make us doubt ourselves, make us doubt something from playing out. Okay? With sevens, we just have to know. And we have to ground ourselves in that knowing. But on a lighter note, the Seven of Clubs is just about speaking life into someone, speaking positivity, speaking faith, speaking optimism. or it can be someone just speaking negatively, speaking doubt, speaking fear into people. So just be mindful of that. Five of Diamonds in Venus. Venus deals with our money. It deals with our relationships, whether intimate or preferably our relationships with females, right? And fives are constantly changing, okay? In regards to money, there can be an influx of money. So money coming in, money going out. We all know this is kind of income tax season. So people can be receiving their income taxes and they can be spending money either on home renovations, clothing, personal upkeep. But fives represent a change in finances. So again, if people have been without money for a while, this is the week that there's going to be a flow of money coming in, okay? Five of Diamonds is also like the roller coaster when it comes to finances. So again, up and down, up and down, up and down. The only constant is that things are going to change. And fives require us to be adaptable, to know when to pivot, to know when to redirect, right? To know when to just flow with stuff. It's not about containing like the four, okay? Or balancing like the six. It's just about flowing with things. Whatever comes to you is meant for you. Whatever doesn't is not meant for you, okay? The Queen of Spades and Mars. Mars deals with the masculine energy. It also deals with our personal energy, our personal drive, our personal ambition. Mars in cardology deals with legal issues. So with this Queen of Spades here, if anyone's going through legalities, you will win the case, okay? Any hearings, you will win. Court cards represents a very commanding and strong presence. So whatever's being thrown at you, you got this. Don't even worry about it. The Queen of Spades represents solitude. It represents the single woman. It represents confinement. So this can be like jail issues. It also represents the grandmother and death, right? So for some of us, there can be legal issues around these themes, okay? Around jail, around some sort of death or something in regards to a loss, a very heavy loss. But with the Queen of Spades, it's almost like you have mastered the ability to be on your own, to stand on your own, to hold yourself accountable, as well as to hold others accountable. But remember, with this 9, you have to release. You can't hold on to shit that no longer serves a purpose in your life. So if this is hurt, if this is sadness, betrayal, whatever it is, let it go. Move on with your life. It's no longer worth it, okay? But again, in regards to legalities, you will be victorious. You will win. Jupiter, we have the Jack of Clubs. Jacks are the youthful energy. The club specifically is all about communication, right? The Jack of Clubs is very skillful with words, okay? So this is a week to speak your truth. And because it's Jupiter, it brings opportunities. It brings positivity in your life when you're honest about things, when you're truthful about things, okay? For some, this can be communication. So if you're into podcasting, if you're into content creation, this is a great week to kind of put yourself out there, right? To speak your truth, to teach something, as well as to learn something, because Jacks are students. They're students of life. And again, lots of youthful energy. So Jupiter represents children, okay? So this can be a lot of activities going on around kids for this week. 9 of Diamonds and Saturn. Saturn brings delays, limitations, restrictions, but Saturn requires us to work for what it is that we want. You know, Saturn is going to hold us accountable. And with the Nine of Diamonds here, this is about our value systems, you know, as well as our spending habits. The Nine of Diamonds can be an overspender, all right? This is like the lavish, luxurious lifestyle, okay? But being Saturn, you got to kind of rein in your spending, right? If it doesn't make sense to spend, if it doesn't bring any worth into your life, why would you spend money on it, right? Saturn doesn't want you to waste. Saturn wants you to save up, you know? And with the Nine of Diamonds, these are big purchases. So these can be cars, these can be houses, like expensive jewelry, like these are big purchases. So Saturn's going to require you to, again, rein in, don't overspend. If it doesn't bring any value to your life, okay, with the diamond, if it brings no value, why are you spending money on it? Okay, you can save that money for a rainy day, or you can save that money for something that actually brings value and worth into your life. Seven of Spades, Uranus. Uranus brings disruptions, changeability, authenticity, rebelliousness. So sevens are seeing beyond the veil, okay? The Seven of Spades particularly is considered like the witch or the priestess as well. So, and it also deals with faith, right? Faith over fear, doubt, inner knowing over doubt. This can be a week of being spiritually tested, or going through some type of spiritual initiation. And because it's Uranus, this is going to deal with our friendships, our social circles. This can even be social media. In cardology, Uranus deals with the work environment, the workplace, our colleagues, our coworkers, okay? So there's going to possibly be some spiritual tests around our work environment, the work that we do, the people that we work with, as well as our social groups. Okay. And again, with sevens, you have to be careful how you speak to yourself, how you move about your life on an everyday basis. Okay. I'm hearing like practice what you preach, even though it's more of a Saturn thing, but because seven has some connotation to Saturn as well as Neptune, it's kind of like whatever you speak or think, you will manifest into your reality. So if you don't want to manifest worry, if you don't want to manifest doubt, you have to speak positivity. You have to speak faith. And then you can just watch your reality match your energy. Okay? The universe matches our energy. So if we're vibing positive, if we're thinking positive, if we're speaking positive, the universe is going to match that. And whenever sevens are involved, it's very, very pertinent that we have this inner knowing that everything is happening to us. Okay. No, everything is happening for us, not to us. So how we speak, how we live, how we perceive things is exactly what is going to be shown in our reality. Okay. And that's when you think about being spiritually tested. Let's say if you said you were going to stop doing something, and then the universe will test you by bringing it back into your reality and see if you're really about that life. You know what I mean? If you're really going to stop doing what you said you were going to do. The Two of Clubs and Neptune. Neptune is all about revealing the unseen, okay? Exposing what's been going on in the background, behind the scenes. And with the Two of Clubs, this deals with our connections, more so our verbal connections, the conversations that we have with others. So this can be a week where we're having these spiritual conversations. We're speaking about things that are unseen, the unknown, okay? This also can be arguments, debating, going back and forth, okay? But twos want connection. And Neptune, think Pisces, You just want to merge with people. You want to connect with them. But Neptune brings it to a much deeper level. So again, this week you can be connecting with people around conversations, dealing with spirituality, dealing with the unknown, okay? Sharing ideas, sharing your the things that you've learned, okay? This is also possible. But just be mindful that Neptune reveals, okay? It exposes secrets, it exposes people. And the twos in cardology not only deals with connections, but the two of clubs deals with friendships. So this week, a friendship that wasn't what it was supposed to be, or wasn't what it really was, will be exposed to you. Okay, you may find out people have been talking about behind your back. People have been, just speaking on your character, speaking on your reputation, just lying pretty much. This will be revealed to you this week. And this can either spark an argument or spark a conversation in regards to, I heard you were saying such and such. Why would you say that? You get what I'm saying? So it can either be a resolution or it can be a disagreement and a misunderstanding. It can go either way. But Neptune will reveal. Now, the Pluto card is the King of Clubs. This is the master of communication, the master of learning, very skilled in wordplay and conversations and debating. But Pluto deals with the unknown, the things that are uncovered, the things that we're trying to find out and research and go really deep into something, right? And this is the 8th house. So this is all about other people's other people's situations, other people's secrets, other people's dark traumas, traumatic experiences. So this king requires us to be responsible with how we speak to people, right? And maybe more less speaking and more just listening. Listen before you speak. The King of Clubs is the card of attractiveness. So for women, you can have some secret admirers, or you can have some men that are obsessed with you. And if it's for men, the opposite is also true. Okay. Pluto is obsession. Pluto is control. Pluto is dominating. So again, with the King of Clubs and the responsibility that is required from us, make sure that you are speaking from a place of understanding. You're speaking from a place of deep spiritual knowledge, wisdom. Okay, you're not just talking to talk. Pluto, as well as the 8th house, deals with other people's money, other people's resources, and it opposes Taurus, which rules the 2nd house, and that deals with family matters. So there can be some things coming up around family as well. Family trauma, family secrets. Okay. The reward is the Jack of Diamonds. So the reward for the week is about marketing, salesmanship, putting yourself out there, right? Again, selling your products, marketing your products, but also being honest and having integrity in regards to who you do business with, or just your business practices as a whole. Okay, because Jacks can be a bit dishonest, but when they've integrated their energy, they can be very, very great business people. We got 2 4s and a 2. The peak represents the accomplishments and the achievements for the week. So with the Four of Hearts, this brings a grounded energy. This brings protection and love and family. Okay. So this is something that we are all as a collective achieving. We're achieving this bond, this stability, this protection, again, around our emotional body and as well as around our family and our emotional connections with others, right? Fours binds things. It keeps it protected. It keeps it structured. It keeps it grounded. So this is a week to kind of find your tribe, find your people, find the people that really show up for you, find the people that genuinely give a fuck, that check up on you, that make sure that you're okay. Those are your people. And for those that don't show up, for those that don't reciprocate the energy that you put out with the Nine of Hearts, you have to release them and let them go. Four Diamonds Moon, this represents your subconscious landscape, your mental landscape. And again, being a four, this is all about stability and finances. So a lot of us are going to be, and again, this is subconsciously, but it can come out in the conscious realm if we're aware of it. But this is about protecting your money, putting money away, right? Being strategic, being smart, planning and preparing if things were to get, I don't want to say worse, if things were to get bad when it comes to finances, you have a little lump sum put aside. So the focus, even though it's subconsciously, it can come up subconsciously as well, is about strategizing your money, okay? Protecting your wealth, protecting your value, protecting your worth. The Two of Spades as the Earth card is what we are transforming as a collective this week, what we are becoming, okay? And with the Two of Clubs, this represents strong bonds, strong friendships, ride or die friendships. Again, people that really fuck with you, people that really see you and they honor you and they value you, right? And all they want to do is protect you. All they want to do is connect with you, but like on some real shit, not no surface level things. The Two of Spades is like this, again, this ride or die, this bond, this friendship, this connection, this commitment that's going to last forever. Okay? It's nothing superficial about the Two of Spades. So I wish everyone a great week.